It is Saturday, July 13th, 2024, and I'm. Man, it's really hot in here today. Uh, so this might not be super long. uh, but I guess there are a couple. I've been thinking about what questions might come up. I don't know. Or what. I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm having so many troubles thinking of words right now. Uh, if people have questions, it'll take a year for them to get answered. So, I might as well explain some things anyway. Um, so, one question that might come up is that, um, when I went to see my parents or was hanging out with my family earlier uh, in this video journal, I had been trying to get them involved and, you know, talking with them and stuff, and then that kind of stopped happening. So it wasn't necessarily the most intentional thing that I had ever done, but it wasn't entirely uh, accidentally either. The fact of it is that at some point I really started shifting these videos to be more like at, right before I went to bed or whatever, rather than recording them as soon as I got home from work or whatever. And so even when I was on vacation or visiting people, that difference still happened, just because of when I was used to thinking of it and reminding myself and stuff. So a lot of the times I just didn't get around to doing it until everybody else was in bed, and or even despite that, there comes to be a certain point in the evening when people don't want to do things anymore, regardless of if they're exactly on their way to sleep or not. So forgetting about it until then definitely was a cause of a lot of that. But also, there got to be some sort of a realization of the fact that I don't know. I don't know what the best way to say this is, but I would rather spend more time just talking to whoever I was visiting, rather than sitting down and making them talk to a camera. And it's not like everybody was happy to do it when when they did appear, but I don't know. Like, authenticity is probably one of the most common words I've said on here that is longer than like 6 letters long. I don't know, but it's not the same. Oh, well, okay. I mean, I have lots of practice. just talking about stuff to myself and a camera. But the people that my family members and such, were a little less comfortable with it. I don't know. So, I mean, and I'd talk about it like, oh yeah, we should do this, and then it would get to the end of the day, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. But yeah, that's just kind of how it ended up. The combination of me forgetting to to do it, plus, I'd rather like we could be doing a card game together, or talking about other things besides just recapping what we had done that day. But you know, it's a little more difficult to. I don't know. Maybe I could have been a better host for this, and just like talk to them completely normally. But it's I don't know. It's kind of weird. It is weird talking to somebody just normally and then recording it, especially when it's like, okay, so I'm gonna say the date and then my name, and then you introduce yourself. And then it's like, well, then that's not, by setting parameters on that, that's already giving the impression of this isn't just a normal conversation. And but then at the same time, I don't know, it's a little hard to come back from that. So, or like, it's different talking into a microphone versus just talking to somebody else in the room. Maybe I enunciate a little more clearly than what I do when I'm talking to other people. Don't know if that's actually true though, because in editing the first however many of these, trying to find cutoffs between words is a little difficult to do. Because I kind of just go from one word into another without having any gaps or phrases or breaks in between. And I tried to do that there, but I did a very bad job of it. But anyway. So, yeah, that's kind of why I didn't have as many guest appearances later on. It's not that. I don't know. I guess I just didn't have as much downtime with people later for some reason. And, well, I mean, and yeah. At the beginning of this, maybe this was at a higher priority than, than what it came to be later on. And my priority kind of shifted to just, hanging out with people is more important than getting them in my video journal. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But, yeah. And then there was another question I was going to answer, but I already forgot what it was. Oh yeah. So why am I stopping? Why did I stop uploading on my gaming channel? And why am I also stopping recording new videos for this channel? Well, if you remember back to my New Year's resolution, or my New Year's goals, my goal, I basically had two goals. I wanted to get good enough at music stuff to be able to record something and put it on my music YouTube channel. And then I wanted to spend the time making an educational video that, explained a difficult topic in hopefully a really understandable way. And I know what topic I want to do that on, and I'm practicing a lot of music stuff, but finding finding 3 hours to record like every weekend for, you know, video games and stuff, and then finding another 3 hours to listen to it, and then uploading it for how many hours, and it's a long process. Watching through the video so you can get a good thumbnail, and you know, you write a title and description that aren't misleading so that people know what they're signing up for when they click on it. It's not that easy to do, especially with all I'm doing at work now. It kind of uses up a lot of my brain power on a daily basis. So, but the main thing was the return of the Obra Dinn series had so much work from me put into it per hour of video that, I don't know, making videos like that was even less sustainable because it took so long to edit those. And then for that, not only did I have to, like, you know, try to pick out the best moments and stuff, or, well, I don't know, that's not really what I meant, but, you know, for, like, thumbnails and stuff, I'd, like, put zero effort into the thumbnails and titles, because I had put so much effort into everything else that, well, and you couldn't get good thumbnails from that, because the thumbnails are pretty crazy, and all of them are spoilery, but the main thing about that series was going on vacation while I was uploading it, and there was one time where it's like, okay, there was one day of the vacation where it's like, okay, after dinner I'm gonna go up to my room in the B&B and just edit the video. I mean, part of that was because I'm an introvert, and even among my family, it can be tiring sometimes to be on 100% all the time. But part of that also was like, why am I prioritizing getting this video edited and uploaded over, like, hanging out with the people that I love? And it's like, yeah. And then it turns out, like, the videos are getting like 2 views or 3 views, or I don't even know what they are now. I think they're really great videos, but like, and I would have to spend like that time every week to I mean, like, get any sort of traction on YouTube. It's crazy. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. I have too many other things that I want to do with my life, or that I need to do with my life, that's just not, you know, at one point that was high on my priority list, and now it's not so much. I've kind of done it. I'm a person who's okay with doing one thing and then not doing it again. It's like, oh, that was fun, I enjoyed it. That's also the last time I'll be doing that. Or, you know, I like variety. If I do the same thing for too long, it gets boring and it gets uninteresting. So and it was an interesting process learning how to edit like longer videos like that. I'm glad that I put in the effort. So now I've done a blind playthrough of a Zelda game and uploaded the full playthrough as like VODs, more or less. And now I've also done a game that I've played before that's like a puzzle game that I actually put effort into editing and stuff. I'd put those in 2 separate categories, and each one of those I think I can check off the list now. I mean, another category would be doing a game and then like putting full effort into editing, like cutting out sections that aren't interesting and all that, which is difficult to do for a puzzle game like Return of the Obra Dinn, because, you know, following the thought process is what I think of as one of the more interesting parts of it. Like, if information just comes out of nowhere, then I don't think that would be necessarily as entertaining. But I don't really have a game in mind for one that would make a good type of Let's Play for that, and that would take even more time. And I think I'm good, honestly. So, that being said, I actually, now that I think about it, I do kind of have a plan for a game like that. If and when I get back to the gaming channel, I'll probably be posting edited streams of like Nintendo Switch Sports or something like that. That's a game where you can cut out as much as you want, basically. I have some ideas on how to make it interesting to stream too. But that's probably what I would be doing next. It's not really a playthrough. I mean, it isn't. So I guess that would be another thing that would make it kind of interesting. It kind of goes back to the old days of doing Minecraft minigames. I still love all those videos. I think they're funny. But yeah, so and then why am I stopping making videos for this channel? Well, a year ago I needed to make these videos. And now, I mean, it can vary from day to day even, but now I don't think I don't need them as much as I used to, which is a good thing. So, and like I said a few days ago, anytime I record a video for this channel, I am signing myself up for another year of responsibility. And at some point, I'm gonna want to not. The only problem is that due to my stubbornness about how I'm doing this, I can't really decide. I mean, I can always just say, no, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But, you know, ideally, if I continue like I have planned, then the decision of when I want to stop doing this, it takes a year for it to come into effect. So, but yeah, and part of it was that I wanted to see if I could do it, if I could make daily videos for an entire year. And so far, well, you know, record daily videos for a year. And I did prove that to myself. Well, almost. And so that's another thing where, like, I've checked the box. I'm not like, once again, I'm not that guy that's like, oh, you made it to 100. You need to go for 101. And it's like, well, but no. Like, maybe if something stops at 101, I'll go from 100 to 101. But if something goes from 100 to infinity, or from 0 to infinity, there's not any difference between 100 and 101. Realistically, there's not any difference between 99 and 100. But at least with when you're making it to 100, you know, that's a goal that you set out for yourself. For something that goes from 0 to infinity, setting a goal ahead of time of 99 and making it to 99 is the same as setting a goal of 100 and making it to 100, in my opinion. There's no difference between the numbers. The only difference is, you know, did you set the goal beforehand, and then did you make it? So, I don't know, I've made the goal. I've proven that to myself. I could make another goal, but I don't need to. So, I don't know, there's something that feels a little businessy about that. It's like, I've allocated so much of my budget towards this, of my time, and now that I've, you know, completed the research and development, you know, research and development can always continue forever, but now that I've met the goal, you know, the funding, the budget, the time I spend on this is gonna get used for other things. It's not a bad thing. The fact that I've recognized that I don't need to do this anymore, I also don't think is a bad thing. Now, of course, I'm willing to hear comments on that, but, you know, I'm always willing to hear comments about it. I don't know. Any other questions that you have, I wouldn't mind answering, but, you know, it'll take a long time to get a response, obviously. The video that came out today, you know, I edited today and got it out, and it was on time and everything. I had a nice Saturday of not really doing much besides that, but tomorrow I should spend some time I should not have to work on this during the week, is my plan. I should be able to do it entirely on the weekend, which, like I said, I got the video out today, which is good, but I need to do better about that. But anyway, so the video that came out today, I referred to somebody in my org chain as the manager of managers. And I don't know why, but that really hit the spot as far as comedy goes. I know I don't make a lot of jokes in these, but yeah. So I told my brother as we were going to get food tonight, and I was like, you know, it was really funny because, you know, I watched, you know, I told him, I was like, I watched the video journal that I recorded last year today. I was like, and I called the guy, the manager of managers. I just thought that was funny. I'd never heard anything like that before. And my brother was like, what? No, you definitely did hear something like that before because you said that. And I was like, oh. Yes, I obviously, yes, you're correct. You're correct. I obviously have heard that before because my mouth made those noises. But I don't know, there's some weird thing that happened in my brain that was like, I never heard that before. It's like, well, no, I have verifiable proof that that came from my own lips. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. Like I knew that that was what I had said, but also I don't remember ever thinking that before, and that's not how I think about that. That's not how I think of that guy's role. But it's obviously correct. So I guess that kind of brings me to my last uh, the the last thing on my my non-existent list of questions that you guys might have that I just thought of just now, but why why do I say my name at the beginning of every video and then take it out? For those of you who don't know, I do literally say my name. I don't literally say the words "my name." I literally say my name at the beginning of. I don't know why I'm having trouble articulating this in a clear way, but I do say what my name is at the beginning of every episode or every video of this. And so originally, I do remember thinking this when I was recording the first episode or the first video back on July 10th, 2023. So I was in the middle of kind of recording my my whole my whole Tears of the Kingdom playthrough, and I have always kept my name off of any video that I do. So I had it's weird. I kind of had a weird relationship with my name at that point because nobody really used my name. I didn't. Like the times that I would kind of actually say my name, it would be like, I don't know. It's difficult to really say, but and then being in a new place and everything, starting a new job, it's like, oh, I have to get used to introducing myself. So that was part of it. I had almost, I don't know, part of it was like some form of social anxiety or something, but when I remember saying my name, introducing myself to somebody, and it just comes out weird, and it's like, it shouldn't come out weird because it's my name. And then but if you think about it, you probably use your own name less than anybody else's name. But and then that with in some ways, for like my gaming videos, I kind of play up the funny, or I try to, I try to be entertaining. And I wanted to remind myself that this was a video journal, that I could actually talk about things. And then, over time that morphed into I make sure that what I talk about is actually important to me. Because otherwise I could just go on for forever about the meaningless stuff that I don't really care about. So there did end up being some filters in the end, instead of just like saying everything that came off the top of my head. Though, I mean, I do I don't plan any of this ahead of time, except for like this time and thinking of questions that people might wonder about. But yeah, so that's basically what it was. Reminding myself that on this channel I am actually me, and not, a YouTuber, and not, not somebody else. And then, also just like actually getting used to saying my own name again. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to say that you have a weird relationship with your name. uh, but, yeah. And the other part of that is, if you want proof of me being stubborn enough to do things, that's literally just how I introed the first video, and that's how I've done it since, I think I thought about the intro before I hit record. And I don't know. I don't actually remember if I did or not, or if that was a spur of the moment thing. I know I decided, I guess I had decided on what that was going to be ahead of time. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, and turns out if I kind of like go back and evaluate things, I don't feel like I'm a super stubborn guy about most things. But what I can be really stubborn about is doing things that are entirely by myself, that have no effect on any other people. I can be so stubborn about those that, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, sometimes when I, there are some opinions that I have that I am stubborn about, or when I'm in charge of something and I see things going south, I can be stubborn about trying to fix them, instead of just letting them go or whatever. I don't know. But yeah. So this is definitely a good example of that. Recording a video a day for a year. It's just me doing it. It doesn't affect anybody. At least it hasn't yet. And so yeah, I can be stubborn about it. I can do exactly what I want to do. So I don't know if that makes me a control freak or not. I don't think it does. I prioritize consistency over a lot of things. And it's not like I need control over things. Like, it's not like I'm super stubborn about things that other people are in charge of, or things that I'm in charge of that involve other people. maybe I enjoy getting to be stubborn about things. And so I take advantage of the opportunities when I can, when I'm just doing a project that doesn't involve anybody else besides me. Maybe that's it. I don't know. It probably says something deep psychologically about me or something. In other news, I think I'm starting to think I might have aphantasia. I have no idea. It's when somebody tells you to imagine something. So the idea with aphantasia is that you can't, like, you don't really have a mind's eye, if that makes sense. Like, if somebody tells you to imagine something, you imagine something visual, then your mind just doesn't work in the way that you're able to see it, you know? Um, I don't know. It, it's difficult to really evaluate, like, if if how exactly your mind works. Like, it's difficult to say whether I actually can imagine seeing things or not, which makes me believe that I can't actually. I don't know. It's difficult. Maybe that's why I always hated art class growing up. Maybe that's why I like pixel art, because when I see the grid, I can be like, oh yeah, those squares should be black. And then it all makes sense. Uh, Maybe that's why I can't draw from memory or anything. But I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just don't understand what people say when they say they can see things in their mind. Because it's everybody's mind works differently. But the one thing I can tell you is that whatever the sound version of that is, I do not have that. I can imagine sounds super well, to the point where I can replay symphonies in my head. Sometimes, kind of like, relaying directions to somebody on like how to go. Sometimes your brain just like skips a turn or something, and the road just like looks straight or whatever in your mind. But uh, like sometimes if I try to listen to a symphony in my head or whatever, or imagine what it sounds like, sometimes it can get shortcutted, or shortcut. It can get shortcut. Is that English? I have no idea. But yeah, no, I definitely do not have the sound version of that. Makes me think that I could have been a great sound designer for the movies or whatever, but nah, probably not. I just enjoy music, and I play it, and I imagine what something is going to sound like before I play it, so that then I can make good decisions about what would sound good. So, anyway, this was a lot longer than I expected, but not bad for a bonus episode, I guess, for a year 2 episode. And yeah, I guess that's it.